Welcome to the Third Win channel. Today we're doing a tier list of the season 6 episodes of iCarly, and this season is a bit weird. I think this is where they start to kind of really diverge from what the show was in the beginning. But let's get into it. I'll talk about each episode. First, we have April Fools, which I could totally skip, and I actually did when I rewatched the series. It's a little too off the script and it's too weird for me, and I just didn't feel like spending time on it. So yeah, I don't. It's too difficult to explain. I skip it. Next we have I Go One Direction, which is difficult, but I think I'd put it in one of my favorites of this season. I like. I mean, there were so many different things they could have done with One Direction and like different problems they could have come up with, but the problem they come up with is iCarly getting sick with like worms and they're contagious, and basically, if anyone shares a water bottle with her, they'll get sick. And Harry accidentally drinks from her water and gets sick. And it lasts about a week. But then it should be over after a week, and then it isn't over. And then his friends say, "Oh yeah, he doesn't want to be not sick because Carly's taking care of him." But then they come up with a genius plan that Gibby will replace Harry in the performance on the show live, which that cracks me up so much. Just Gibby, in One Direction. That's just too funny to me. That's why it's one of my favorites. And then yes, that makes Harry get out of bed. He wasn't about to be replaced by Gibby. Next, we have I Open a Restaurant, which I think is a classic or an iconic episode. I just love the fact that Gibby finally, like, I don't know, he shows one of his passions that is making this food, and he finds the basement. He puts up this whole operation with Sam. Eventually, he does get shut down due to a bully that gets out of jail finally. Yeah, kind of weird, but basically, Sam beats him up with a butter sock, and he tells on Mr. Howard that they have this restaurant going on, and it gets shut down. But Mr. Franklin, Principal Franklin, comes down and says, like, on the down low, keep it open because I love the food. But yeah, technically it has to close, but it won't. I just think I love this episode because it makes Gibby shine a little bit. I like season 6 Gibby is good Gibby. I like a lot of, like, all the seasons are good, but season 6 has a different Gibby that I like as well, a more mature version. Next we have I Have a Ween, which I think I'll just put in pretty good. This is Neville's last episode, and I mean, he says he gets revenge, but what, Freddy gets lifted up and down a couple times, and their voices get deeper for a few minutes. Yeah, all right, but yeah, no, it's a fun episode, and I like the concept of the whole Halloween thing. This is their second Halloween episode, and there only ever were two, so I appreciate that because I've always liked the Halloween themed episodes for any show. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. This is where I think the whole original formula is maybe getting a little stale, so maybe that's why it feels a little worse. Then we have iPairphone, where Freddy gets a job at a Pairphone shop, and then Sam gets there, and she doesn't know anything about Pairphones, and she also gets a job because she's just better at selling. You don't need to know anything to sell these phones. And Freddy gets fired when he gets into conflict with the store manager, and Sam just quits right after. So that's the whole episode, really. It's pretty good, I guess. Again, same thing with this one. It's a little stale. I could probably skip it. I'll put it there though. Next we have I Battle Chip, which is where Chuck gets sent to military school. Oh, by the way, where's the picture for this one? Oh, it's this one. I Battle Chip, right? So Chuck gets sent to military school, and Chuck's younger brother Chip basically wreaks havoc on the iCarly gang, not allowing them to do the show and hurting them or whatever, and they get back at him by setting up this glue bomb, and then at the end it works out. Basically, that's the episode. As a subplot, yes, Gibby gets this laser gun thing, which the gang break, and then Freddy fixes it and makes it even better. This episode, I think, is about there. I do like that they brought back Chuck. Next, we have, I feel like this has been jumbled up. This is not in order. Well, I'm going to go in order. The pictures are not in order. Next, we have I Shock America, So that's the one where they go to the Jimmy Fallon show, which I love it when they mix it up in an appropriate way, and I think they did it really well here. We get to see New York, we get to see them go on the show on Jimmy Fallon. Everything looks really real. You even have like Questlove in it and everything. And basically, long story short, Gibby's luggage gets lost, and he has to buy pants, and he decides to buy street pants. And when they do this off version of random dancing on Jimmy Fallon, his pants fall out, exposing everything. And iCarly take the blame for it. Everyone is traumatized, and they're fined $500,000 by the TV people because you're not allowed to do that on TV. So they're saying, okay, iCarly's over, but Jimmy Fallon manages to raise way more than $500,000 to bring iCarly back and pay their fine. This is one of my favorites. I don't know why. I just think it mixes up the regular iCarly thing, kind of like iParty with Victorious in a good way, and it makes it really exciting. You don't know what's going to happen next. Next, we have I Get Banned. Funny pun with both someone getting banned and someone in a band. I think that's really funny. And I love how Gibby and Freddie are in a band and they're called The Floors, like the Doors. It's really funny. And they're not a bad band, but they bicker. And what else happens? Is a little too invasive. He keeps visiting the Carly apartment. But yeah, basically Carly banishes him from the apartment because so many bad things keep happening. But Tebow then challenges Carly to live one night in the Benson apartment, and she couldn't handle it, so he gets unbanned from the apartment, and she gets unbanned from Groovy Smoothie, which I didn't mention. He banned her from Groovy Smoothie, which is traumatic. But yeah, it's a pretty good episode. I like this one a lot. It's pretty fun. It keeps things spicy. Next, we have I Find Spencer's Friends, which is this one. Basically, they've realized that Spencer is only friends with people under the age of 18, other than like Sako. So for his birthday party, they couldn't find anyone to invite. So they try to get him some friends, and they turn out to be pretty lame. And then, yeah, they go out to a restaurant and blah, blah, blah. Basically, Spencer finds out, and the gang find out, that he doesn't really need new friends. He has the friends he wants. What else we have this episode? We have a featured guest in Emma Stone, which was fun, and we have Gibby as a bathroom attendant, men's bathroom attendant, which was funny too. I thought this episode was pretty great. Showcased some character stuff. I like it a lot. Next, we have I Rescue Carly, which is where one of Sam's old prison friends, I think prison friends, comes and basically asks Sam to be, to do these macho things, and Sam's become a lot more, I don't know, less violent as the show goes on. So, what can I say? Basically, Carly doesn't fit the Sam friends kind of mentality of Sam. So a lot of these weird, awkward confrontations come in, and it ends with Carly saying, "Hey, I can be bad too," and she gets invited to this place where they smash an abandoned house. And it goes south, and Carly ends up in a bad situation. And Sam comes with Spencer's night vision goggles that he acquires in the episode, and beats everyone up with a buttersock. It's great. It's between here. It's not as good as these ones. I think it's at the bottom of great. Next, we have I Lost My Head in Las Vegas. So this episode, I think, also goes to my favorites. Like, there's a bunch of these episodes where in this episode they meet the Pawn Stars. Then we have Jimmy Fallon here. Like, they did this a few times, and that's why I'm saying season 6 is quite different. Things are just a little more, all over the place. But this episode I like as well. It's also directed by Jerry Trainer, which is kind of fun. And it revolves around Sam's mom getting in prison, and they have to bail her out, and they get money by going to the Pawn Stars. But Sam squanders the money away, but they get it back by selling Gibby's head to this Asian family who wants it, and it's a lot of fun, and we get interactions between like Gibby and Chumley and some RV jokes and stuff. I really like the episode. Next, we have I Bust the Thief, where I believe I think it's this episode. Yeah, this is a subplot. So, um, basically, Sam's laptop gets stolen, and it turns out this old lady stole it. And uh, long story short, turns out it wasn't Sam's laptop. It was never stolen. Sam finds it in the fridge in a pizza box, but she doesn't tell them. She walks away out through the back door without telling anyone because it'd be way too embarrassing. And a subplot is Spencer, tries to redeem his tickets at this game place, and he ends up bringing Guppy along because you need a kid to go there, and it's a fun subplot. I think this one can go in classic. I like maybe we go top of great. Actually, I don't think it's a classic episode. But then we get into I Goodbye, which is the final episode of iCarly. I think I have to put it at the top of favorites. I think they did the goodbye very well. They had all these small elements that made it perfect to me. One was Carly again, missing her dad, wanting to go to the father-daughter dance thing. And I thought that was quite touching. And him appearing at the end for the first time on the show was amazing. And then him telling her that they only have one night and offering to, go live with him in Italy is a hard decision for her. But her friends support her, showing how supportive her friends are. Another thing I want to mention before we get to the end of the episode, we have subplots like Spencer building this dream motorcycle that Sam really likes, so she helps him with it, and she works all night. We finally see something Sam is motivated to work for. And it ends up that Sako doesn't need the motorcycle, so Spencer gives Sam the motorcycle, which is amazing. And when we see Carly depart from iCarly, we also see Sam venture off with the motorcycle. We also see Gibby get a new replacement head for the one they sold, and a weasel. And it's just so wholesome when they all huddle up and walk into the elevator, and all the goodbyes, and Carly and Freddie's goodbye. I don't know. I this episode is really touching. They did it really well, and I really hope in the new series they kind of bring up this goodbye. It's gonna be really hard seeing the show without Sam and Gibby though. But this is about season 6. This season is a bit weird. I don't think it's the best. But it has some really memorable moments as well. As you see, I have 4 favorite episodes here. That's a lot. But yeah, thank you for watching. This is our 6th installment. So if you like this, you can go watch 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So yeah, I said the 6th installment. Yeah. And we have a lot of different Nickelodeon content, iCarly content, and we're going to be making episode reviews for the new show as well. So make sure to subscribe if you like this kind of content. I'm going to be here for it, and I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.